It is the Riot Podcast, the We Can't Believe It's Not Friday edition.
I think it is because of Monday. We will not have a podcast on Monday because we get the day off. All three of us are just so antsy to finish this week up that we're feeling it. But we're
just
almost
ready.
there. We don't have too much longer.
Yep.
Just a whole other day.
Yeah, just like one more day.
24 hours.
And the rest of this day, it's
Yeah.
fine.
I got out of bed this morning, and normally I don't have a problem waking up.
Yeah.
Where I set enough alarms, and it's not that, it's just hard to wake up. It's hard to physically get up to make sure your body wakes up, but it's not like I'm looking at it as just like, man, I wish I could go back to bed. But today,
Oh, you did.
I was just like, I do not want to get out of bed. Why can't I sleep in today? Why do I have to wait?
Sometimes you even get mad, like, because you can't. Like,
Yeah.
with our jobs, like, we can't just do that to you guys without a real reason. Isaiah, remember that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't
have
do
to
that.
show up.
You have to show up. But tonight is the Buckeyes versus Minnesota game, and it doesn't start till 8. And it will go so late tonight that tomorrow morning, this is the happiest and most awake we'll be for a while. Because
Yeah.
tomorrow morning we're going to be tired.
We're going to be a little
gonna be
sluggish.
terrible.
But we're going to stay up, so it's fine.
Yeah. We'll all be in the same boat at least. At least we know
Yeah.
coming in.
We're
Like
all
the
it's
same.
not like when just you had like a late night and then like Hudson and Nick, you're like, ooh, I had a fun day. And then you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But we'll all just come in and kind of just look at each other and just know
Like-
that none of us feel good.
It's like, I hate everything.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Tomorrow's show is going to be such a wild card.
It
Oh,
will
yeah.
be. We'll get it together. We'll
Yeah.
be fine. So enjoy this podcast today because tomorrow will be even more.
Yeah. Today in the podcast, we went through an absurd amount of statistics about grocery stores.
Yeah.
And they all were like, some of them were about grocery stores, and some of them were like, well, if you're in a grocery store and you do this, you're more likely to walk your dog at night. And
Yeah.
it's just, they were so funny.
It's weird that it all started off grocery store related, and the survey was by Kroger, but then it's like, why are you asking these other questions?
It got a little too personal. Like, it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with grocery
And
stores.
It feels like they were trying to extrapolate a lot of information about people just based off of their like list making preferences and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That was the big one.
Oh, they think that can tell you so much about a person. I'm not convinced.
Yeah, that was funny because it was like when you take one of those surveys, like it'll only take 1 minute, and then at the end you're like, what do these questions have
Yeah.
to do with anything? Like this is one for Kroger or Giant Eagle or whatever.
They're-
Why are they asking me about what I eat for breakfast?
Suddenly
Yeah.
it's like they're telling you why you're single and you're
Yeah,
just
exactly.
crying. You're like, I'm sorry. It's because I go into the aisles.
Yeah. We also talk about a possible cure to COVID-19 that is very frightening.
If you think the parasite, like, cow drug thing.
Yeah. Horse
is-
dewormer.
The dewormer,
Yes.
that's it. It's a
Yeah.
dewormer. If you think that one's a bit out there, wait till you hear this one.
And if you think that horse dewormer isn't out there, then this is perfect for you.
This is right up your alley. You're gonna love
So you're
this
like,
one.
sign me up.
You're like, you got another alternate form of medicine.
We also, like we mentioned earlier, talk a little bit about college football and what's going to happen this weekend and how
Yes.
we feel about just the fall returning. I'm just happy the fall is here.
Yeah, I was
That's it.
thinking today after the show, I still have a little bit left on my Starbucks gift card. I've been holding on to that forever. And
You go basic today?
yeah, because when we did the taste test last week with the apple crisp and the pumpkin pie cold brew, it's not the same as the good old PSL.
You're going to get a pumpkin spice
I
latte
think I
today?
might. I think I might to
Oh,
ring
no.
in the football season
All right.
and the ring in fall.
Well, we're going to
Pumpkin
celebrate
spice.
tonight, and we promise tomorrow we're going to try our best.
We're going to
Yeah.
be here. That's about all we can promise.
That's right. That's right.
So enjoy the podcast today. Text us. Let us know what you got today. 877-2-RADIO-U. Put that you're a podcast listener and your name and say hi.
And leave a nice review. Also, don't forget.
That's right.
We'll
Have
catch
a great
you next
day.
time.
Bye.
The Riot Podcast. Radio U.
The two worst things on the internet, some would say at the moment. The milk crate challenge
Yeah.
and gender reveal.
Oh boy, that's
Combined.
the two still big things when it comes to
Yeah.
like trying to get a viral video.
Yep.
It's milk crate or the gender reveal.
Yeah,
and
you're
you're making it together.
to me, certainly the gender reveal and milk crate challenge too. They just kind of scream like desperate for attention.
Yeah,
and
I mean, to a point, kind of.
So with this video, it's a couple that have combined the two. But the question is,
do I think it's real?
Some people are saying that they think it's parody, it's satire in a way, because they think that maybe the woman isn't actually pregnant and this is all done as a stunt. Either again, desperate for attention, so maybe still done sincerely even though nobody's pregnant, or that it's all again a parody and then they're trying to make fun of that whole movement.
Well, when I saw the title and stuff, I thought, oh my gosh, was she on the milk crate?
Right.
You can't fall down with a baby. Like, that's what I thought it was, but it's just
point.
the guy doing it. It looks staged. It has the feel of it's just too put together.
Yeah.
They thought it through too much than like maybe an average couple would.
It's one thing to, so how it plays out is it's the guy is climbing the milk crates and half of them are covered with a pink cloth and half of them are covered in blue. And then he's holding this little package and this bowl or something, I guess. And when he falls, then all the powder goes everywhere and it's the blue powder.
Yeah.
So
it looks fake also because they say that she looks way too late into the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Like she's showing too much to when they normally do a gender reveal.
Well, some could say that.
And
maybe she just didn't want to spoil the surprise until very late.
No, they just say it also just looks fake.
Yeah.
Like the belly.
Oh. Wow, that's nice.
Now, I'm not going to be the one to bring that up to her.
Yeah, I don't want to. She shouldn't read the comments then if she really is pregnant. Don't let her know.
That'd be awful. So,
hey, your pregnant belly looks fake.
I think it looks staged. Maybe she is pregnant, but I feel like it looks staged.
Well, the last thing that I think maybe to me makes it, because who am I to judge a real pregnant belly versus a fake one? I'm not going to wade into that debate. But the way everybody reacts after he falls and they're all coming up and screaming at the camera, whatever. It's just like, is that even like some of the craziest gender reveal parties that people throw? That's not how people act, right?
Not normally.
No.
They'd be going and like hugging them and celebrating.
Right.
So
yeah, this does feel like I think we've come to a conclusion.
It feels fake.
It's staged, which how bad is that really if they're just doing it to be funny?
This is The Riot. Radio U.
I have a survey here that I just realized doesn't apply to Nikki at all.
Why is that?
Well, it's a whole story about a whole survey about going to the grocery store and behavior at the grocery store, but you would never do that. So,
well, because I actually tend to not go into the grocery store
exactly.
too often. I pick them up.
So all of this will be foreign to you.
Well, I do go into Costco because I can't afford Instacart for Costco.
Oh, really?
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
So I do go in there.
All right. Well, this survey actually is conducted by, on behalf of Kroger, conducted by OnePoll. They surveyed 2,000 people in the U.S. to find out about some of their grocery store habits.
Yeah.
And this one, okay, I know you don't go to the grocery store, but I still feel maybe this might resonate with you because it certainly does for me. 40% of Americans buy healthy items just to make sure they're not getting judged in the checkout line.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. This is no slight to, it feels like a slight. I'm not really concerned what the grocery store cashiers are thinking of me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're nice people.
But haven't you ever seen, it's like the meme where you come home from the grocery store with your new produce and like the vegetables and the fruit, and you immediately go to your fridge, you take the old ones, which you never ate, and you throw them away. And so you're just replacing them? That's totally how it is.
Well, I just bypass that whole thing and just don't even buy them at all.
In the first place.
Yeah, so that's my strategy on that one.
Well, you feel like you're supposed to, you just don't eat them.
Did you know people also 2 in 5 will go to the self-checkout? So 40% of people also will go to the self-checkout so that they don't get judged.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You don't need to have any interaction.
No, you don't.
Your food's your friends.
The computer can't judge you.
You're right.
The interface at the self-checkout, it doesn't have opinions.
I don't go to self-checkout because I feel like I'm going to be judged. I just feel like it'll be easier just to do it myself.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I just, a lot of times, it depends on where you go, will just have to avoid the self-checkout because they don't give you space to have enough groceries, You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't go through it too much.
There's the places, you're at a good place if they've got the self-checkout where they've got the conveyor belt and then it all goes down to the rollers. But if you're at a bad one, which is the ones I always go to for some reason, they just give you one spinny wheel of bags and you can bag like 5 things and then...
Hudson's looking at you, Kroger. You do that. But
Kroger, you didn't add that into your survey.
Costco has their own, check yourself out.
Yeah.
But if you go to Costco, it's a lot of stuff and it's big boxes.
Right, of course.
And every time I go, I'm like, I do not want to check all that out. I can't do that. So I don't know why they think that would go over so well.
This is a niche thing, but Giant Eagle is a grocery store in our area that does have the good self-checkouts, which they are more expensive, but they also, for some reason at all of them, if you go to the self-checkout and you go to pull the receipt, on the receipt thing, it says, don't pull the receipt because it will open up the receipt paper thing.
It will?
Yeah, so you have to they all have little... label maker signs that say, don't pull the receipt down because it will break the thing and somebody will have to come help you.
This is why I don't go in. This is why it's easier to not go into the store.
Right? Let's see, what else was there? They also wanted to find out about people that make lists.
Yeah.
So it turns out 80% of grocery shoppers do make lists. Only 20% don't. 73% of people who make lists are likely to cry during a sad movie. 53% of non-list makers will cry, which starts to make me think that maybe the non-list makers are just liars.
What are they? Why is this all in this survey?
I don't know what does Kroger expect to gain. What are they? Maybe they just wanted us to talk about them for some reason.
At ours now here, they just have put the stuff in the cart and it checks it out while you go through the store.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen anyone do that.
Eventually, we just should have no interaction, no nothing, and just walk out the door.
We should. And I always remember that was before that came around, it was why don't they just let us scan things as we go? And now that they have the scan as you go, I've never used it and I've never seen anyone use it. And and now I don't want it.
Well, I used to scan as you go sometimes, but then the lady yelled at me once. I can't do it again. And it was for no reason.
Yeah.
And she just kept yelling at me while I was finishing up the checkout process of it.
Yeah.
But the better ones are where you don't even scan it. You just put it in the cart.
Yeah.
And it just says, oh, you're buying this.
Now
Good
that's
choice.
Magic.
I know. That's the best.
That's what we want. But good job, Kroger.
I still be yelled at.
I think this survey has really reminded us how much we don't like going to the grocery store.
Yeah, it says a lot.
I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to buy my groceries from Walmart.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Now, Nikki, I know that we were talking about how all the movies are delayed, it seems, except for superhero movies.
Actually, to be honest, when you first said Venom a few minutes ago, we talked about this Brazilian snake thing. I thought you were telling me the other Venom thing was moving too. I was like, hey, everything's moving.
Yeah, no, that one's still in place for now. We'll see. We'll see on that one. But of course, all these movies getting delayed from the theaters, but that hasn't stopped movies from coming out all over the place on streaming. Did you know that Hulu just had their biggest streaming movie premiere ever?
Oh, I never hear that. You always hear if the Netflix movie does well.
Yeah.
But never Hulu.
You would think that it would be all over the place, which probably just really shows you how little people use Hulu,
Oh, it's a John
right?
Cena comedy?
It is, yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. It's called Vacation Friends.
Yeah. Oh, and we don't even get vacation,
No.
so that's fine. Or Friends.
Yep. It was the...
we can't relate.
I don't know why we didn't hear about this. Why wouldn't... shouldn't Hulu be parading this around everywhere that we had our biggest movie ever?
You mean why we didn't even hear about the movie?
Yeah.
Or also that the movie did well?
Yeah. I knew there was a John Cena comedy and I didn't know it was on Hulu, but I did see that the reviews, I think they might have been good, but I don't know.
It currently holds a 58% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
So maybe not then.
That's not the worst. You could get way worse than that.
That's not even fresh.
Yeah, but I mean, have you seen some of the reviews on the Netflix stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the worse it is, the more people are watching it just to be fun.
Yeah. So John Cena, Lil Rel Howery, and other people are in the movie, and it was their biggest streaming movie ever on Hulu, their biggest premiere, and now it was so big that they're bringing them back for another
second
one. Yes.
Dude, I tell you, every movie now, just because it is everything that they had already filmed is either running out or just keeps being pushed back. Mm-hmm. They got to start filming or doing other stuff.
Right.
And I feel like if anything comes out right now and maybe like 5 people watch it,
yep,
they're going, all right, well, let's do another one. Because they hope that more people would watch the second one, but you get some sort of built-in base.
Yeah, I guess that's exactly right. They're probably hoping, too, that if it was their biggest premiere, that will carry it to more people wanting to watch it in the future. And then by the time the next one comes out, everybody will be like, oh, yeah, I remember the first one. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. They've got a long way to go for that because we didn't even know. And here's the sad thing that Hulu needs to think about. Nikki and I read the news all the time.
Yeah.
Especially movie and TV news. We're just constantly reading it.
So much worthless news about that stuff, the entertainment industry in our head.
Yeah. I see no less than 20 Shang-Chi stories a day about what producer said what. And still all the James Gunn. Here's what James Gunn said about this deleted scene from The Suicide. We just see all this movie news that nobody could possibly care about all day long. And even the sites that are reporting all of this garbage didn't say anything about Vacation Friends.
We never
or
get
that
Hulu
it was the
stuff.
number one movie on Hulu ever.
No.
So that's the sadness for Hulu that we didn't even know about it.
Is it sad? Or is it better we didn't know anyways?
No, they're sad. We're fine. We don't need to know more about Vacation Friends.
I am curious about with Hulu, and I know for Netflix, they have said it a few times, but how long do you have to watch of a movie in order for it to count as you watched the movie?
What if people watched like 20 minutes of Vacation Friends and turned it off?
Because you don't have to watch the whole thing in order for it to be a watch.
And you know what? When you're watching stuff that you didn't pay for, like as in like when you go to the movies, you're a lot less likely to just walk out of the movies after you paid for it. And you're on Netflix, I turn stuff off all the time. You can tell. You can tell a couple minutes in, I'm not going to like this.
It's not for you.
Yeah, but all that said, I'll give Hulu props. I actually used Hulu last night. I watched the Steve Martin thing.
Oh, okay.
I liked the first episode.
That's good.
It's got a chance.
Well, Hulu now has you.
Hulu, yep, they've got their hooks in me. So before you know it, I'm going to be watching Honeymoon Friends with John Cena and Lil Rel Howery.
I'll save you from that. Don't do it.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
And for me, when I see FTC, I know what it is. But when you see that they're investigating an abbreviated government agency is investigating McFlurry machines, it makes you think like,
why?
What are they exploding? Are they, like it feels like a safety issue? Are the engines, whatever makes them go? Is that like turning too fast and people's fingers are getting chopped off or something?
I feel like this would make a perfect documentary, or there's something to where, and we don't get enough ice cream from McDonald's to know.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's just the legend that all McFlurry ice cream machines always break down at McDonald's, or if that really still happens a lot.
Yeah, I think it doesn't come from nowhere.
Like, I know there's the tracker website. You can see, like, if your local McDonald's McFlurry thing is down. But there's always talk about it doesn't work. And then there's like, well, why don't you just fix it? Like, what's wrong with it? Why are there lawsuits, or why is the FTC getting involved with the McFlurry machine?
Yeah, well, they are. So the FTC is the Federal Trade Commission. So what they actually handle is not the safety of anything, but the basically like the business side of things. And so they are investigating because they consider it a potential antitrust situation.
Like, we can't trust McDonald's?
We can't trust them to have their...
Or you mean because they promote McFlurries, they promote these things, and it's never there?
It seems that it may be, when you bring in antitrust into it, I guess that could be some deal between McDonald's and the McFlurry company that makes the machines, that may be some kind of I don't know if it
here
falls
it
under
is.
conflict of interest.
So
or?
basically, they're saying that it infringes on McDonald's franchisees' rights to repair their own McFlurry machines.
Right.
So in this lawsuit, the FTC reports that the McFlurry company wants the rights to be able to fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves a lot of them not fixed because they just don't get to all the places.
Yeah.
So if you have a local McDonald's that you own, you want to bring in Mr. Scoop's ice cream repair.
Whoever. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And you can't because you're supposed to use this other thing.
Yeah.
But they want the right to be able to fix the machine in a timely manner.
So at the end of the day, it is basically it's possible that the FCC just wants you to be able to get your McFlurry easier because they just want the machines to work. They're just like you and me. They just want us to have McFlurries, as many as we can handle.
I don't know. I think we've all been burned too many times. You're like, I can't trust again
You know
if
what?
they would ever get them to work right.
They're not even that great either. Can we agree?
No. Okay.
No?
Sometimes ice cream's just nice. All right.
Well, yeah, but
It settles your stomach, and after eating McDonald's, you're just like, I'll take something, please.
after all the grease,
I know, you just want
need some
something.
fat to. I don't know.
Then even if they worked, though, you have to look into all the other controversy on like how clean that thing can be.
Yeah.
That should stop us just from even caring if they ever fix it.
Yeah, we don't need. Maybe this will be the end of the McFlurry.
I don't know.
Could it be?
Do they do milkshakes too? Do they also? Or is
you
it
know
just
what?
McFlurries?
They always used to. Well, they do the Shamrock Shake, right?
They do that,
So they
yeah.
must have shakes.
And they do their coffee drinks.
But does that come from the same machine?
I'm sure.
You think?
Probably.
So
You want to go find out, or you want me to Google it?
can we have another food fight?
Not today. We're doing Taco Bell later today.
that'll be good enough.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'm reading one of these stories that just make you go, what? And the story is that Amtrak, the train company,
Yeah.
they are considering adding 50 new routes across the United States.
Well, maybe
50
if people are not flying as much,
Yeah, well,
they got to get someplace.
I've been there where you need to book a flight and you're looking at the prices of the flight and you're like, this is preposterous.
But then you go and look at the train one.
Yeah, and then you want to go look at the trains. And one, they're also prepreposterous. But two, you look how long it will take you.
I know, but
And
maybe
it's
it's better than driving.
outrageous.
I saw one person
Nope.
who did it can take longer, you mean?
Yes, but finish your story and then I'll tell you more.
I saw one person, they took a train from, I think, some part in Florida to like DC, and
Yeah.
they put their car on the train.
Uh-huh.
So then you have I didn't know you could do this.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. And so then that way, when you got to the city, your car was there with you.
Yeah, that is important because otherwise, I don't know if Amtrak would have anybody because you can.
I never knew you could
It's
do
slower
that.
than a plane or even a car, and when you get there, you won't have your car.
I wonder if I'd get train sick too.
I don't know.
I get car sick.
Yeah?
Not flying though, but I wonder if like car sickness works also on trains.
Yeah, it seems like it might be a problem. Well, so CNN here analyzed the times it would take to travel for these certain routes by car and by Amtrak.
Oh, that is so much longer.
Look at this.
Wow.
If you were to go from Cleveland to New York, it would take 2 hours and 43 minutes longer to
Take the train?
to take the train than just if you were to go by car.
See, like the Los Angeles to Vegas one, you're like, oh, great. That would be super easy, right? No, it's 2 hours and 37 minutes longer than if you just drove.
That's like twice as long.
I know, that's worse.
And
that's miserable.
That's not including the time you have to go drive to the station in
Yeah.
Los Angeles. And then again, if you get to Vegas and you don't bring your car on the train, then you have to rent a car or something.
So if you want to go from, like, say, SLO to San Jose, that's basically 2 hours longer if you took Amtrak
Yeah.
than if you were to just drive.
And you read this and it makes you wonder how they're staying in business at all. And
Maybe they're
it's
not crowded.
It's important to note that the reason that they're considering doing this is because they are considering it using the money that they got in travel bailout money back when all the airlines got all the bailout money and
Trains got it too.
yeah, at least the trains are talking about something they can do with it, I guess.
Why don't you just make it faster trains?
That's what right?
Yeah, just make it faster and I would do it.
I would totally go on the train. If you could make it marginally cheaper than flying, and it was at least as fast as driving.
Well, I would also like it to be, I took a train from Whistler to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And they served like a high tea. And it had like an outside car where you can just, get some fresh air. If it could be just like that, that was a real nice experience.
That sounds perfect. It really is crazy, though. You're right. Why don't they just make it faster? It says that for the Amtrak trains, many of them average speeds of less than 50 miles an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
Which obviously slower than a car would normally be, compared to in Europe and Asia, trains have been going about 200 miles an hour since the 60s.
We would totally go on a train if it was just faster.
And even in Africa, it can get up to 200 miles an hour.
Well, then they got to fix it here.
Why can't Amtrak do that?
So don't add more routes. Why don't you fix what's currently there?
Make your current routes faster.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It is a big night tonight not because of our after show that's coming up in the afternoon.
Or what happens after the after
show.
It's
actually because tonight really feels like the night college football kicks off.
Yay!
It's a big, we got the reason it's so big around Radio U is because we've got a lot of Ohio State fans here in the building and that listen to Radio U. So everybody's going to be catching the game tonight and eating their dip, apparently.
We were such fans that we thought it was Saturday and then had to remember that, no, the game against Minnesota is tonight.
Yeah, but so, of course, that's when Ohio State plays their first game. Then for everybody here, feels like that's when the season starts. But also, we've got a million games coming up between tonight, Friday, and Saturday. All the college football you could possibly hope for.
So there's games tomorrow, too?
Yep. Yeah, there is. North Carolina and Virginia Tech seems to be the big one. So I guess what I want to know, first of all, what do we think is going to happen with the game tonight? Predictions?
For
what do you think,
State,
Isaiah? For Ohio State?
Well, I think that everyone listening would be surprised, very surprised if Ohio State lost.
Uh-huh.
And so I would be very, very shocked if we lost, and that's my prediction is that we will
shocked?
win. I would be, I don't even know what I would do. I wouldn't even come in tomorrow.
Yeah.
If we lose tonight, do not expect me in here tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say.
You come
I'm not coming in.
Just reeking of dip.
Yeah, I know.
You just come in and you're like, it's all over. You're like, I'll shower
Somehow,
later.
Smell terrible.
Somehow he's got 5 o'clock shadow.
And it hasn't been that
My
many
hairline's
hours.
receding.
Yeah. I think you have to be prepared for a close game tonight.
I think it'll be a good game. I mean, we have a lot of people that are new, so.
Yeah. It's a brand new quarterback.
Yep.
The defense, which, let's be honest, last year was a weakness.
It was bad.
And the defense may be worse this year, and they lost a lot of their talent from last year. And Minnesota's a tough place to play, and they've got some good players, so it could be a rough one tonight. It could be close. And I feel I'm an Ohio State hater, but I feel that I have, I win either way because I always expect Ohio State to win because they just always win. But then the times when they happen to lose, I feel like I'm on top of the world.
You
and so
are so
tomorrow,
You're one of those.
nobody can come in tomorrow. If Ohio State wins, nobody can be like, ha, ha, ha. And I'll just be like, whatever, they always win. But if they lose tonight,
I will not be here.
Yeah, I will
not
be
be here tomorrow.
insufferable. You're going to hate
Hey,
it.
guys, I can't do this show by myself tomorrow.
I'm
so
not.
we're all going to have to come in and just be okay with it.
I'm not gonna be here to console anyone if Ohio State loses. I'll be here. I just won't be. You don't want to turn to me to feel better.
So this is just something I was curious about when I was thinking, and it's not all the players, but there's plenty of them who are now rolling in deals and stuff for sponsorships. Do you feel like college football will feel any different? Will the players be any different at all, or just how we view it?
I don't know because I don't think that they're.
I know it doesn't really affect the game, or does it? I don't know.
I don't know if it will affect them. They can't bring their sponsorships on the field as much as they can get $1 million for whatever tea they're drinking or whatever. They can't wear a tea wristband or something. You know what I mean? So I don't think that the on the field product will be altered that much. But what you might see is a whole lot of advertisements with the players in the game that are actually during the game.
That or you feel like, will the players have any more, not attitude or just,
Yeah.
is it confidence?
They're going to feel like an even bigger deal?
Maybe, that you just didn't have that before. And I thought, I wonder if any of that will feel different.
Yeah.
I think the atmosphere will feel the same, like for the game with the fans in the stands.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to kind of keep it normal with everything that's kind of changed.
Yeah. Actually, that's a great point. What we mentioned after there was a couple games last weekend, that for so many of the teams last year, there wasn't either a full stadium or
it was all cardboard people.
Yeah. And so
The cardboard cutouts.
we're going to have a lot of fans in the stands for these games now, and it's going to feel even better.
That'll be
that's
more
going to be
exciting.
something that we all missed.
So what we've left it at is no matter what happens for the games tonight, we're all coming in tomorrow.
Yep.
And we're going to take it easy on the dip.
We're going to be tired no matter
We're
what.
going to be tired. But if anybody has any leftovers, bring them in tomorrow.
Ooh, yes, we could
that
use
would be
that.
good for the show.
All right. Well, enjoy the season, everybody. This isn't going to be the last time we talk about it.
No,
of
I'm
course.
excited just finally. It feels like it's really starting tonight.
Yes. Cannot wait.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
What if there was a way that somebody could read your dog's mind? Like how they could hack your hard drive on a computer or whatever.
Yeah.
Or log into your accounts and see all your Facebook or Instagram or whatever messages. And that'd be so much information, right? What if there was a way for them to do that with dogs?
And to see what your
and
dog
then see
thinks
all
about
the stuff
you.
your dog, all that it knows. That'd be a dangerous.
Or what was the movie Up when the dog had the collar?
Yeah.
So you could
Hey.
hear what the dog was saying?
You know what? On Disney Plus, they just put out a little series of shorts with that dog.
Oh, for it?
They're so cute.
Man, that movie, I still cry if I think about
Really?
that movie.
Really?
I don't even want to. I just
I
can't.
always thought Up was so overrated.
No.
I love the opening scene,
Yeah, but the
the
rest.
time lapse thing, but then the rest of the movie, it's fine, but it's not. I don't think it's Pixar's best, but I do like the dog. And I watched one or two of those shorts yesterday. They're pretty cute.
Aw.
They might, if you cried at the movie, you might cry at those also.
I'm sure I would.
Anyways, so all of that said, dogs, they know more sometimes than I think we realize, including in this study from Germany where they found that dogs can tell if you're intentionally withholding food from them as opposed to if you how they tested this was they had the dogs and the humans, their owners, separated by a glass barrier.
Yeah.
And the humans would have a treat that they could give the dog, but then they would have different reasons why they wouldn't give the treat to the dog. Either they would just set it down. So for us, we would know if you just set it down on the ground, that's intentional, or the humans would drop it, or the humans would be trying to put it through the thing and they couldn't to give it to the dog. And the dogs reacted differently based off of what the humans did with the treat. So
they know if you're withholding.
right. They can tell if you're
Not sharing.
If you're intentionally not sharing with them, or if it's something that is, that's not the dog's fault, or that's not, you know what I mean? So the theory is that dogs basically, they are able to read intentionality in our thoughts, which doesn't just apply to when we give them treats or not. It applies to all kinds of things where we thought that humans and a few birds and primates were the only animals that could do this, that could tell, that are aware that other people are thinking as well. That it's kind of a hard they call it the theory of mind.
Yeah.
Where we talked earlier in the show about how I'm not a psychologist.
Is it hard to
I'm trying to
explain?
relay, but the idea that we can understand that I understand that Nikki has her own intentions and her own thoughts and whatever, but other animals don't understand that.
Sure.
But dogs now, we're discovering, may actually be able to understand that.
My dog Rolo, he knows, because I don't give them too many of their doggy cookies, but he'll have some of my snacks.
Yeah.
He knows different snacks, the likelihood of him to get something.
Yeah.
So he will change how he asks for something.
Uh-huh.
So he'll really bug me for something that he knows he has a good chance of getting, this pretzel.
Yeah.
But then if I'm having popcorn, I don't give him that.
Yeah, of
so
course.
he knows he'll still look at it, but he knows not to bug me about it because the chances are less likely that he'll get it.
Yeah.
Like dogs are super smart with this stuff. They know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, you keep finding out more and more how dogs are, like, they really are intelligent, and the more that you spend time with yours. But it's even crazier to understand how not just the intelligence, but what they understand about how we work as humans, how much they are able to pick up on and comprehend. And that, again, it's cute. It's also a little scary, I guess, if you realize your dog is, maybe your dog is harboring a grudge sometimes.
Because of the sex.
Because he knows you're just holding back on him.
Now, if only they could comprehend that the dog walking in front of our house is not a enemy. We don't need to bark at them.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? Radio U.
Is anybody else getting tired of us talking about Shang-Chi?
Well, you're almost there. I mean, it's probably today for showings, and then throughout this weekend for Labor Day. So we'll talk about it
tonight, and then now, and then we'll see the box office results, and then maybe that will be it, but I'm sure it won't be.
It might quiet down.
And then on Wednesday next week, they'll announce a sequel, and then the following day, it'll be
like there's more rings. Surprise!
Somehow, it's just going to stay in the news forever. But for us, it just feels like this is one of the top things that is out there that people just cannot stop talking about. And now, so they're predicting for the Shang-Chi box office this weekend that it's going to set a Labor Day weekend record.
So they're saying worldwide, they expect it to get 90 million.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Which isn't that much for an opening weekend.
We have a hard time. Like, they're really trying to make this movie happen. And by they, it's really Disney is not doing a pay extra to stream it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
This is in theaters only. There's a lot of things we don't know about this movie behind the scenes that are going on like this will affect future movies.
Right.
This will be the excuse for this. This will be the excuse for that. There's a lot riding on how well this will actually just do in theaters only.
Yeah, and so they're pushing it. Yes, I guess that's why we have to keep talking about it, because they're constantly making sure that there's some kind of news story about it. And they really think this is going to be a big deal. And now, granted, again, when you say 90 million worldwide for an opening weekend, it doesn't feel like a lot. But what they want to point out is, and I didn't realize this, usually movie studios will avoid putting out a big movie that they really like on Labor Day weekend because they think everybody will be so busy doing outdoor stuff and just maybe football is involved and stuff like that. And so between all of that, they don't think it's a very big weekend. Case in point, the previous record or the current record for the biggest opening weekend Labor Day release in the United States is just $30.6 million, which is not a lot at all for a movie.
I think we confuse it with Memorial Day and 4th of July.
Well, those ones are both big, which I don't exactly understand. But why you wouldn't think people are going to be outside on those days, but Labor Day, people will be. But either way, that was, by the way, 2007's Halloween came out, and that has the current record.
So for Shang-Chi, they think that for this weekend, 45 to 50 million will be U.S. and Canada, and then the rest will be worldwide.
I guess when you see the bar is so low.
Don't say that. Well, I know, but that's high for this normal weekend.
Yes,
because everybody for the last hurrah of summer want to be out doing something.
Yeah.
It's not like not everybody wants to go inside to a movie theater and watch it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna beat it. I'm with them on that, but I don't know that I just am not convinced that we're gonna come back from the weekend and people are gonna be texting in and we're all gonna be like, "Wow, did you see Shang-Chi? It was so great." I think there's gonna be enough people to see it to beat the record, and I think it's gonna be. I think the most likely thing is a lukewarm response, but I don't know because I haven't seen the movie. It's just, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
We won't be in Monday to find out. We'll find out on Tuesday.
One less day to talk about Shang-Chi.
I know. We'll get a little extra break. And then, we'll all regroup on Tuesday and see what the results are.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Marvel movie. I probably said this a million times. I hope that it's good. I'm just not convinced.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. Radio U.
Finally, the fire beer thief has been caught in Arizona.
Is that a new type of beer? Is that
fire beer?
Is it a pale ale?
It's they added a lot of jalapenos to that one.
Is it a fire seltzer?
You know, they haven't gotten to that one yet, have they?
I don't know. Someone's writing it down.
Soon enough, the Tabasco or the Carolina Reaper seltzer will make its way to you.
Oh, no. So this guy was trying to steal beer, and he came up with a unique way to get people to not focus on him stealing stuff.
His name is Dennis. He's 61 years old in Phoenix, Arizona, and he hit up multiple gas stations, and for some reason,
it's a Circle K.
Why is it always Circle K?
Maybe in Arizona, that's
the only one.
Maybe it's like the predominant one.
Yeah. So he goes to 3 different Circle K gas stations. His strategy was he sets fire in one of the trash cans. And that distracts the cashier. Oh. So then he can nab the beer that he needs and walk away while the cashier isn't paying attention, and he gets away with the beer. And then it also says that he did it. He went to a 4th Circle K and just stole the beer without lighting a fire.
He had a plan.
He must have gotten too confident or something.
He did. He thought he didn't need it. But they have lots of footage of him setting fires and running away with the stolen beer.
Yeah, and you know what just amazes me? No matter how many dumb criminal stories we see, it's always a criminal that I guess you're just surprised what people will go through crime to do. You know what, or to get. Where this guy, you could imagine,
a lot of times it is beer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you would think, well, I need to steal food so I can survive, or I need to steal a blanket so I don't freeze overnight. You know, those type of things where you would go through crime if you really were in a desperate situation just to be able to survive.
Nope, but it's a lot of times beer,
and it's multiple crimes. It's not just the stealing; it's also the fire that he's setting, all in an effort to get the beer.
If it makes you feel better, Hudson, this 61-year-old guy, Dennis, he left the store in a black Ford Edge. They found out that the car itself was also stolen. Hey! It's not just beer, I guess.
There's that one. He needed a car to drive.
He did.
So at least that one was like a functional, logical crime.
That one's been stolen since July 28th, and he did this on August 28th. Yeah. So they arrested him after they found him in the stolen car.
He would have gotten away with that Ford Edge if he just could curb his drinking intake.
He finally got caught for that.
He could have sold the car and used the money to buy beer.
I think he gets a rush out of stealing things.
Yeah, it sounds like he might have an addiction.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.